This is InFocus News. Hello, thanks for joining me again this week. I'm David Gibbons. Australians continue to mourn after the worst natural disaster in the country's history. Coming just days after the devastating floods in northern Australia, the February 7 bushfires in Victoria claimed many lives and left thousands without homes. The head of 55,000 Australian Seventh-day Adventists joins me now from his office in Ringwood, Victoria, to give us a response. Pastor Chester Stanley, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, David. It's good to be with you.
Chester, what was your first reaction to this terrible disaster?
Yes, David, my first reaction was just one of simply being stunned by the sheer viciousness of the fires and their scope.
What are Adventists doing to assist those affected, Chester?
The Sanitarium Health Food Company is providing food stock, and this will be distributed by aid agencies, as was done in the floods in northern Australia. And also, as a church, we are calling upon each of our 500 congregations around Australia to come together in a time of earnest prayer and ask for the Lord to sustain those that have been impacted by this tragedy. And then finally, ADRA, the Church's Development and Relief Agency, has given an immediate $150,000 to the situation, and this will be distributed through their close relationship with the Australian Red Cross.
Good. So what can people watching do to help?
Yes, David, I think a lot of people feel that it would be a good thing to provide furniture or clothing or food. But really something much more immediate is better, and that is indeed cash or money. And ADRA can then take this money and pass it on to those in need. ADRA has already, as mentioned earlier, given $150,000 to this tragedy. And if you'd like to contribute to ADRA, you can also do likewise.
200 members of the public have attended a seminar about Jesus Christ because they were invited by participants at a youth conference. The Australian Youth Conference trained young people for mission over 4 days at the University of New South Wales in Sydney. The conference attracted more than 800 enthusiastic young people from all over the country. And $260,000 was donated during the meetings for youth evangelism. Public seminars were held every evening, and organisers say there will be further follow-up programs. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency in Fiji has distributed close to 2,000 food packages to those affected by the country's floods. 2,008 kids, 25% more than last year, got involved in the Sanitarium Weet-Bix Kids try-athlon at Langley Park in Perth, Western Australia last weekend. Pastor Mike Brownhill took advantage of all the sunshine available in southern Queensland to baptise 8 people in the Maroochy River at Maroochydore on the Sunshine Coast. Adventist pastors and lay members have just wrapped up a 2-week school of evangelism in Christchurch, New Zealand. Lectures by US speakers Gary Gibbs and Leo Screven and Australian presenters Graham Bradford and Lauren Pratt were videoed at the Island Church venue as a resource for church members in Australia and New Zealand. Connected town water and upgraded facilities have permitted Tasmanian Adventists to attend their first regional camp again after a 3-year break. 20 young people gave their lives to Jesus Christ during the week-long event. And in this week's colour edition of Record, the Understanding Islam Conference brings new awareness to attendees at Avondale, New South Wales. And a US-based mission filmmaker captures great stories for the world to see. Are you watching the full half hour of InFocus on Hope TV each week? This week we commence a series of weekly reports on Understanding Islam. And of course, you can watch InFocus online as well. Thanks for watching. See you again next week. I'm David Gibbons.